Now, I know it's been some time since I did one of these videos on this channel, but I would like to remember a very important and impactful person who used to be in the community and discuss the reason to as why he left. And that person is none other than PrettyBoyFredo. In today's video, we are going to be talking about why PrettyBoyFredo decided to leave the NBA 2K community. Now, Fredo was in the community for a very long time and was arguably the biggest name in the community at one point or another. He started his little park takeover with the whole SSH, Savage Squad Hoopers movement. He had so many little sayings that people would catch on to, like red tape and other park slang. I think it would be fair to say that SSH was one of the biggest park movements we ever saw in the 2K community. You couldn't load into a single park in NBA 2K16 or NBA 2K17 without seeing someone representing SSH. The movement was absolutely insane and it was everywhere. Now look, we are not going to dive into the impact that PrettyBoyFredo had on the community because me and everyone else knows that he is a legend within the community, and I actually already did a video on that exact topic a couple months ago. So if you guys are interested in a video like that, I will link it in the description below. But instead, for this video, I want to talk about why Fredo decided to leave the 2K community, because we are seeing this become more of a common thing within the 2K community. Now, at the time of Fredo's departure, we all knew he wasn't too happy with the current 2K back then, which was NBA 2K17. And he expressed his disappointment and displeasure with the game, whether it being on stream, being on Twitter. But it's crazy because most of the community expressed themselves as well, but people now look at NBA 2K17 as an all-around good game, and a lot of people miss it. It's just funny how that works out. With not being too happy with 2K and the direction it was going, Fredo was already 1 foot out of the door and out of the 2K community. Fredo got into a little altercation with NadeXE, which resulted in Fredo blocking Nade and led to some pretty disrespectful things being said, such as this tweet you are going to see on your screen. One of Nade's fans was literally wishing death upon Fredo's newborn child and saying other disrespectful things, including his girlfriend at the time, Jasmine. And things like this are the reason why the 2K community has such a bad reputation. We also saw things like this and people involving family members and children with the whole Poor Boy Sin thing and when he got passed in top rep, which, by the way, that guy got banned, so he did that for absolutely no reason. But this altercation led to Fredo composing a tweet saying that he will no longer be associated with the 2K community or anybody involved ever again. And since then, he kind of stuck to his word because we haven't really seen Fredo at all when it comes to NBA 2K. Fredo actually acknowledged this in a tweet shortly after he officially departed from the 2K community. He wrote the following to a question on Twitter on why he left the community. He responded with this: "Sorry bro, but I've evolved into a man and have responsibilities. Arguing with 13-year-olds on a video game is no longer a thing for me. LOL, setting a positive example for my daughter is more important. Leaving the 2K community was the best thing I ever did." Now, this actually did turn out to be the best thing he could have done because we all see what's happened with 2K since NBA 2K17. And Fredo's channel's still doing relatively well, so he got out of a pretty bad life cycle of a video game and expanded into content which involved IRL and other things. So he for sure made the right choice in this situation. Basically hopped off the ship before it started sinking. Now, I think there was more reasons to as why Fredo actually left the community, and that was the combination of the toxicity and the lack of 2K being able to provide a good game. I think those two were good enough combination for him to realize that it was time to move on. I mean, it happens with a lot of things in life. You realize that you've reached that point and you just move on. Now, PrettyBoyFredo did give a little bit of a hint on Twitter saying that 2K21 would be his return, but for the meantime, he would sit there and watch everybody, aka us, suffer, which is basically implying that NBA 2K20 is a complete failure. and it is. But the fact that he's hinting at a return could be a huge thing, especially if NBA 2K21 does turn out to be a half-decent basketball game, which is a lot to hope for because it's still being developed by 2K. Now, with that being said, Fredo had a huge impact on the community, and a lot of people definitely miss his presence within the community. Now, that might be for a couple of reasons. That could be for the fact that back then 2K was actually enjoyable and it wasn't being made fun of every 5 seconds, and they somewhat cared about the community. I mean, I don't really think they cared about the community back then, but they probably did more than they do now. So therefore, 2K back then was probably in a better state than it is now, so that probably makes us miss certain people who were in the community at the time even more. But the fact that PrettyBoyFredo even joked about coming back to 2K is a pretty big deal because he was a very entertaining person within the community, but he definitely had his reasons to leave. With that being said, that is going to bring the video to an end. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to drop a like and make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much for watching the video. I'll see you guys next time, and peace.